Hello, my honeys. I am here today with Healthy Mummy. We are going to be walking through what she eats in a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're going to do a little bit of a fridge tour and a pantry tour. So let's get started. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of Slim, the all-inclusive platform where you can get customized meal plans, workout plans, daily meditations, journal topics, everything that you need access to me in order to achieve and maintain an ideal weight on a plant-based diet. All right, so I'm gonna have Healthy Mummy walk through what she eats, and we're gonna go ingredient by ingredient, talking about the benefits of them, how she prepares everything, and then we'll carry on with the rest of the tour. All right, let's start with your breakfast.
Okay, so for breakfast in the morning, I keep a jar of quick oats. I use Bob's Red Mill, and I mix in a little bit of ground flaxseed and a little bit of cinnamon. Nothing to measure, but primarily quick oats. And in the morning, I'll put a cup of that in a bowl with a cup of tap water, and it probably sits for about an hour while I do some yoga, or something like that. And then when I come down, then I put in my mix-ins.
Oats are fantastic. They contain beta-glucan. Beta-glucan is a specific type of fiber that helps keep you full, which is why so many people find oats just so filling and they stick around, and then you're not hungry until lunchtime. And then the flaxseed is great for balancing hormones. If you are putting in flaxseed and you are not seeing the benefits, I want you to consider how you're adding the flaxseed. If you're buying it pre-ground, it's not going to be as potent. I do recommend buying it whole and grinding it yourself. And then I put mine in the fridge every week, and then I add it in when I make my oats. So just something to consider. And then you get the Bob's Red Mill, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have any gluten intolerances. However, if you have a gluten intolerance, the Bob's Red Mill does have the gluten-free certified oats. Sometimes there can be some cross-contamination. Oats are naturally gluten-free, but there can be cross-contamination. So if you do have celiac disease or a gluten intolerance, that's something to pay attention to as well.
And then by the time an hour has gone by, for me, they're sufficiently soft. And I don't really like oatmeal sort of hot, so it's a room temperature. Then I add the chia seeds, which do not need to be ground, just a sprinkling. I also sprinkle in some hemp hearts, mix that in, and then I sprinkle on top pumpkin seeds. I just happen to have leftover walnuts from some baking and from Thanksgiving, actually, so I'm putting a couple of those on. And then the two ingredients I did forget are shredded carrots, which I put in, and then I warm up maybe a half a cup of frozen blueberries in the microwave, and I put that on, and that's my breakfast.
So for individuals that are in weight maintenance, it's really important to make sure that you're not eating too calorically dilute of a diet. So if Healthy Mummy were to have the oatmeal, the carrots, and the blueberries, that's a very low calorie density, which could put you at risk of being underweight, osteoporosis. We don't want to mess around with that. So having the chia seeds, the hemp hearts, and the pumpkin seeds are a really great way to make sure that you're getting a nice boost of calories so that it's not too low in calories. Also, the walnuts. Have you seen that visual of the different foods that look like the part of the body that they're good for?
No.
So walnuts look like the brain, and they're good for brain health. Carrots, when you slice up a carrot, it looks like an eye, and it's good for your eyes. Kidney beans, good for your kidneys. It's a really cool visual that I'll put up on the screen now. But that reminds me that the walnuts are good for brain health. And then the shredded carrots are a great way for my individuals that are looking to lose weight, to bulk up the meal and add in more volume, but not too many calories. Something else that I will mention is sometimes people get kind of nervous about having a whole cup of oats. So if you look at, if you pull up your Bob's Red Mill oats, it'll probably say that the serving size for oats is a half a cup. That's traditionally what a serving size is. But you and I both have an entire cup of oats with our first meal. I say this so often because people still ask me about it. Oh my gosh, a whole cup of oats. It seems like so much to so many people. But a half a cup of oats is only 150 calories. And the same people who say, oh my gosh, you have a whole cup of oats, are the same people who end up overeating in the afternoon and at nighttime because they didn't eat enough earlier in the day. So to have a nice hearty breakfast so that you're not peckish for the rest of the day. So let's move on to lunch.
Okay, lunch. I have one serving left. I batch make my soups, and I get probably 4 or 5 days out of it. So I could do this literally in my sleep. And ironically, the Dr. McDougall soup that I bought forever and ever and ever is no longer carried at my local Stop and Shop. So I've been just making my own. So I take a cup of rice, be it wild rice or brown rice, whatever we happen to have. 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water or 2 cups of vegetable broth. And the vegetable broth will give you a better flavor. And I bring that to a boil, and then I just start adding things. I sprinkle in some quinoa. I also put in some lentils. And the lentils need to stay in for a long time, so don't leave them to the end. The quinoa you can leave till the end if you forgot it. And then I put in a can of beans, whatever we have. This happens to be pinto beans. And then I just start adding frozen vegetables. So I have, a mixed carrots, corn, green beans, always spinach or kale, or spinach and kale. And edamame I like now. Edamame gives it a good crunch so that there's some texture. What else do I put in? And I do love mushrooms.
Beans, spinach.
Spinach, yeah, I said spinach. Spinach and or kale. And I like mushrooms in there a lot. Frozen mushrooms I can't find at my local Stop and Shop either. I can get them at Whole Foods or at Mom's Market. But I can just buy mushrooms, cut them up, and put them in a baggie and put them in the freezer. It's just as easy. And then just add water to the top of must be a 6-quart saucepan, and I cook it. I bring it back to a boil and cook it for 20 minutes, done. And I add to it a dollop of my homemade hummus, mix that in. It just makes it creamier and gives it a great flavor. Oh, I forgot the seasonings. Seasonings are everything. Yeah, don't forget your seasonings. I sprinkle in garlic powder, and I don't measure it. I just sprinkle it till it covers the top. Onion powder, maybe a little smoked paprika, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, black pepper, and a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes, which are everything. Sometimes I'll just dollop in some liquid aminos. It's just like whatever I feel like so that it changes it up a bit. And a dollop of hummus, and then I sprinkle on some nutritional yeast, which gives me a nice Parmesan cheesy taste. I'm telling you, it's great. And it travels like a charm.
You've been making this for years.
I know, and I don't get tired of it. I don't know what it is. There's a great satisfaction in making it. You can be very creative, put in whatever you want. I've had cauliflower in there, broccoli, and asparagus. The things you like and the things you don't like. And again, it's good for you, and it's extremely satisfying, so that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that bewitching hour, you're not looking for stuff that's not good for you.
So both of these meals have a common formula for building a satisfying, satiating, hits the spot, nourishing meal. And it's that they have a source of carbohydrates that are complex carbohydrates, meaning they're high in fiber. That's your starch. That's where you get the majority of your energy. They have a protein source and a fat source. So with the oatmeal, the carbs, of course, come from the oatmeal. Then the source of protein and fat is from the nuts and seeds that are added on. And then here with the Dr. McDougall soup, which both of these are in the cookbook, by the way, the Healthy Mummy cookbook. The source of complex carbohydrates is the rice, the quinoa, whatever the grain is. And then you've added in the source of protein, which is the beans, the lentils, the edamame. And then the source of healthy fats is the hummus, which is also a little bit of protein as well. And then sometimes you'll sprinkle on hemp seeds on top. I've seen you do.
Yep.
And hemp seeds are a very sneaky, high calorie, high protein, high fat nutrient powerhouse, which is great for somebody like you who's in weight maintenance, who wants to make sure that they're not eating, like I said, too dilute of a calorie dense diet. And then what do you have for dinner?
I have whatever the big guy's making.
Whatever healthy
dad's having. It's always good. And it's from the Healthy Dad cookbook, a great Christmas present.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention daily supplementation. Vitamin B12, if you're on a plant-based diet, it is essential to supplement with vitamin B12 because you're not likely to get enough from your food. And vitamin D3, 43% of the population is deficient, especially if you live in climates like we do in Massachusetts where you don't see much of the sun. And for women post-menopause, this is going to be especially important to make sure that you are allowing your bones to absorb calcium and to prevent osteoporosis. So these are linked in the down bar. They are my supplements, as you can see here. No GMOs, no oil, no gross stuff. Vegan, clean, premium ingredients. Because all the other ones that you'll find on the market are nasty and they have all of this stuff in it, but mine is the cleanest you'll find, highest quality. Okay, so we're gonna look at the fridge in the pantry and you're going to tell us anything that you like to eat in both of those.
Okay.
Little disclaimer here, you will see Healthy Brother lives here, so you're going to see some of his food in the background. So if you see things and you think, what the heck? Those are not part of the Slim program. It is because there is other food in this kitchen that Healthy Mommy and Healthy Dad don't eat.
So this is kind of, I'll open them both. It is sort of sided off now that I think of it. We always sort of have in this section stored pre-made things. Dad made his Mexican stew 1 or 2 nights ago, so there's plenty of that. This is the soup that we were just talking about. Always seems like there's tofu. Now that I make my own hummus, a nice big thing of tahini.
Hummus in the Healthy Mommy cookbook.
Yep. And when I'm making the hummus, I do use the prepared lemon and always carrots, always lettuce. Healthy Brother is on a rice and broccoli kick, so there's some broccoli in there, onions and lettuce. Here always, this is my go-to milk of choice for my tea in the morning. Always plenty of seltzers, and this is the vegetable stock that I am using for soups. In the freezer, I've tried a lot of blueberries, and I really find that these are the best, and I get to support a local business, Maine Blueberries.
She does not like the blueberries, well behaved.
Yeah. And then wild blueberries only. And then currently for my soups, I'm using mixed vegetables, carrots, green beans, corns, and peas, spinach, and as I said, you know what? I couldn't find edamame beans, so this week I got lima beans. So in here, what I use is the brown rice for my soup, Healthy Dad's flaxseed meal. Here is the Bob's Red Mill quick cooking rolled oats. Raisins I'll use. On occasion, if I'm going somewhere and I need to have something healthy that I know is going to fill me up, I've been making on raisin bread. A good raisin bread is When Pigs Fly or Ezekiel. They make a good healthy raisin bread. I'll put a layer of almond butter, and this Nature's Promise is really good because the ingredients are literally dry roasted almonds. That's it. And I find that gives me real satisfaction and filling. So it's good because I don't want to get hangry. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we are never at a loss for bean selection. Never. We always have tons and tons and tons of beans. And then recently I did a little redo on this drawer. There's nothing more satisfying to me than to have things organized and cleaned up. So here's an example of different kinds of rice. Healthy Brother uses minute rice. Sometimes if we're making kung pao tofu, we'll have a little white rice, but predominantly we always have a big bag of brown rice. Nutritional yeast, another nice company, Bragg's. I buy it in a large amount. And then I have my nice little ball jar for lentils, which you can see I use a lot. And then quinoa, and then just baking products. And my nutritional yeast gets its own little jar. Makes me happy.
All right, the final stop on our tour.
All right, so welcome to our newish pantry. This is just where we stock all leftover items. A lot of things here for Healthy Brother, but us as well. My sister-in-law makes a unbelievably good habanero jelly, so we have plenty of jars of that. Always have extra liquid aminos, which I now just buy from Amazon. I buy my Eden soy milk in bulk from Amazon as well. It's just so much easier, you know, not to load up your heavy shopping bags. I do make a really good...
Wow, that's an athlete.
And then down here, we do have just straight Lipton tea for those that drink it. I drink a decaf English breakfast tea. I went to a wonderful class on bees and bought some of her honey. I don't use it, but Healthy Brother loved it, needless to say.
The Peak Teas.
The Peak
I told you
Teas.
guys she
Yep,
uses them. Link below.
Yeah. I've been taking this during the winter. It's for vitamin C. Why not? The Green Goddess matcha, green tea. Not every day, you know, but on occasion. We always have this when Healthy Emmie comes over.
I just made some.
We need some more. The Sips coffees, which you know I love. I've got them all, and I do prefer them and love them as an iced coffee. I just like them better that way. It's that. I have a lot of little peak selections here. They're really, really good. Really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
If you have any other requests for a Healthy Mummy, leave them as a comment below. Otherwise, get the Healthy Mummy cookbook for all of her recipes. We love you, and we'll see you in the next video.